Hello and welcome. My name is Mark Blatstein, the physician founder of Physician Presentence Report Service. You're getting ready for sentencing. You've already been indicted, but the question remains, are you really prepared for this pre-sentence interview and your sentencing hearing? Three judges, federal judges, were asked what their pet peeves were. Federal Judge Patrick Schultz stated that he's upset, concerned that competent attorneys punt at the sentencing hearing. What does that mean? It means that there are attorneys that you may not be prepared when you go into sentencing for the judge to ask you if you have anything to say, or they get their sentencing memorandums to the judges either late, the day before, or not at all. And judges just consider that sloppy lawyering. And so those 2 points regarding preparation to knowing that the judge is going to ask you a question, and second, that ensuring that your attorney's sentencing memorandum is sent in 7 to 10 days before your actual sentencing hearing. And it really should not take the place of your own autobiographical narrative. It should be legal points that are directly unique to you, explaining why the guidelines should be adjusted lower. And I'm not an attorney, but I'm giving it my best shot. Federal Judge Robert Scalia, he says, as 99% of criminal clients are going to be facing sentencing, you should start preparing for this case early on. Don't wait till the last minute. And by that, I mean, he means that, or at least how I understand it, is that you need to have a compelling story, a compelling autobiographical narrative of who you are, humanizing yourself to the judge. Because if you don't, the judge is just going to be left with the four corners of your indictment, which is probably not that flattering, and your pre-sentence report, and he'll have no choice but to sentence you on those two documents. You'll have nothing in your favor. Last federal judge Mark Bennett, he comes right out and says that your personal narrative, if you can have that included at your pre-sentence interview so that it's part of your pre-sentence report, he couldn't ask for more, because that will help the judge understand who you are before he ever gets to meet you in person, which will be the first time. And by the time judges meet you, they already have a sentence in mind. Judges will know that your attorney's being paid to say nice things. The Department of Justice wants a conviction. The probation officer wants prison time. And there's only one person the judge knows nothing about, and that's you. So how can you go ahead and change that? I mean, there are ways. And with that in mind, the judge has to look at several parts of sentencing. In other words, the goals of prison are retribution, where you're being punished and they take away some of your freedom. Incapacitation, they just take you off the playing field, away from society. Deterrence, so that you realize that you don't want to repeat this, because judges do not want to see you back in their courtroom. And rehabilitation, again, it's preparing you for release, and that you don't want to reoffend and make your way back to their courtroom. So your autobiographical narrative is probably the most important thing that you can use, because if you have a compelling autobiographical narrative, or your story, no different than the Olympics have their three wings, Wheaties is the breakfast of champions. This is going to be your brand, who you are, and you have to put your best foot forward when you speak to the judge, which means have to get the information to the judge before they ever meet you. And the probation officer who conducts your pre-sentence interview is going to be the most important person in your life, because judges depend on them for their opinion regarding how long to sentence you and where to place you, and if they think you're honest or if they think you're not. And so these are very important points that lead up to a well-written, well thought out, compelling autobiographical narrative that we'll discuss in another YouTube. Thank you very much for listening, and I appreciate you taking the time. I hope you have a good day and stay safe.